Kettle sour series. Kettle sour series.
Kettle
Sour series.
Kettle sour
Kettle sour
series.
KSS. Blah, blah, blah. Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of A Beer with the Brewer. Matty, how are we today?
Well, thank you.
Well?
Yes, well.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it is
That's
nice.
Today we have another absolute cracker of beer. An addition, or the new addition to our Kettle Sour series, you could say.
Bit of a mouthful.
I know, you say a couple times after a couple of drinks, and a bit of a tongue twister on that one. And this one is the raspberry and pineapple sour ale. I guess well, Brent, our sales guy, it was his little kind of creation that came up with it. He was enjoying a Calippo
Yes.
ice block, and he said, "Wow, this would translate into a beer fantastically." So put a bit of effort into getting the flavor profile right and all the intricacies in relation to making this beer. And Bob's your uncle.
Bob is your uncle.
Bob is your uncle.
I think when he sprung the idea, he was down at Burleigh Beach in his budgie smugglers.
In his budgies, getting a nice tan on that.
Bit of sun.
That absolute cracker of a body he's got.
Shout out to Skimmo.
Yeah,
if you're
nice
listening.
work, mate. So,
Are we
Matty,
cracking it open?
Yeah, let's crack this open and start the tasting. So it pours absolutely fantastically in a glass, doesn't it?
Look at that, nice colour.
Absolutely beautiful. That's that raspberry coming through on that colour, and it is absolutely beautiful.
Look at that,
Absolutely
lovely.
beautiful.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate. So continuing on, like I said, with our sour series, this one, you could probably get a bit of a theme happening.
Yeah, a bit of a shout out before we go on to our designer Verg. I think this is now the 4th or 5th in the sour series.
Yeah, I think so.
So I think the first one with this design was the pina colada.
Pina colada, yes.
We've had the lemonade.
We've redone the mango.
The mango, and then the raspberry and pineapple.
Raspberry.
Raspberry. But yeah, a bit of a theme. It's got the lips drinking out of the pineapple.
Yep.
Pretty cool. This was one of my favourites actually when I saw the design.
Yeah, no, it's really good. Really pops. It's got that nice nice blending of the colours down through the can as well. So very eye-catching on the shelf.
Absolutely. So in terms of the beer, so we've used our base sour. So the first process is very similar to most of the other ones.
Yeah.
Brew the Berliner Weiss. This one is a little bit stronger. It's 4.5 rather than 3.5%,
Yep.
which a couple of our Berliner Weiss are, the mango and the strawberry.
Yep.
And then once again making it, you sort of get the flavour profile of what you're going for. This one based on the Calippo. So Skimmo brought in some raspberry and pineapple Calippos for us all to taste on a Monday.
Yep.
It's very refreshing. So yeah, I guess you sort of taste what you're trying to base it off and then work out how you're actually going to do it in a beer. So there's always a bit of, how are we going to do this?
Yep.
Get in touch with the fruit suppliers and see what they have available.
Yeah, get some samples sent out and things like that.
But I think, as we mentioned last week with the espresso martini, there's always tinkering along the way, whether they have enough of the flavour you're going for,
Yes.
and making sure it stands out.
Yep.
Each fruit comes across a bit differently in the beer.
Yeah.
Some are a lot more prominent than others in terms of their flavour.
Yep.
So it's about getting that balance right. Obviously with this one, the raspberry, the colour has really come through. So it looks really good.
It's a beautiful flavour coming through with that raspberry. I mean, that's just the smell the aroma as soon as you open the can and put your nose to the glass, and it's just super punchy, and it's exactly what you think of when you peel back that silver top of a Calippo. And
Reminds me a little bit of a raspberry icy pole.
Yeah.
I had the lemonade raspberry. But definitely the raspberry, and then the pineapple. We also put a bit of apple in it because the Calippo, it doesn't
Slightly
advertise, but it has apple in it as well.
Bit of a sweetness to it.
So put in a couple 100 litres of pineapple and apple into the ferment.
Yep.
And then, yeah, of course, the raspberry, and then voila, it comes out. So
Absolutely beautiful.
this one was relatively straightforward to make. The flavours sort of come together pretty well. So the week before we did the martini, which was a lot of work.
Yeah.
Which we mentioned last week.
There was a lot of tweaking and little bits.
Whereas this one actually, yeah, was a bit more painless. So for me, that's really good.
100%. 100%.
We've I don't want to jinx myself, but the canning machine that we often mention was working a little bit better.
Yes.
So the canning went okay.
Good.
I don't think too many cans got lobbed across the canning hole.
We don't do that.
In celebration. And here it is. So nice to sit here on a beautiful 15-degree winter's day.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Just when you want to be
Absolutely
drinking an
perfect.
icy pole flavoured beer.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
But yeah, I think it's come out okay.
Absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. That raspberry just is just the hero of this whole entire thing, isn't it?
Definitely the colour. I wasn't expecting it to be quite as bright and vibrant. So yeah, that's come out really nice.
Absolutely delicious.
I think it's probably also the most expensive beer we've ever made. Raspberries aren't cheap at the best
really
of times.
Expensive. We got down the garden path and found the per kilo price of raspberries astronomical, and we're like, oh well, we're too far down to pull out now. So
that's what happens when a sales rep designs a beer rather than a brewer.
That's it. He's always in it for the fame.
Yeah.
So, but at the end of the day, we make quality beers and we don't skimp on the ingredients and everything like that. That's our ethos to get to this final product. And
we're not too worried about the bean counters when they are.
That's it. So in the grand scheme of things, to produce something like this that is resemblance and hits the mark in relation to what we're trying to put into a can, it's all worthwhile at the end of the day, because if you skimp on it, you don't hit those marks. Doesn't say what it does in the can. And then all our customers, like you guys out there, drink it and go,
it's a little bit lackluster. But
a bit lackluster. So we strive to use the best ingredients and everything, so it gives you the best experience whilst drinking our beers as well. So that relates to all over the dry hopping of the IPAs, the single hops, all that type of stuff as well. So we don't usually skimp on that. You're usually pretty heavy-handed on the dry hoppers.
Actually, that's a very good segue, because I did want to mention while we're here today, recently in the beer world, there's always lots happening. Yes. So a bit of a news snippet. Hopco, who we've mentioned many times. We've had Sandy on the podcast.
Great support. Yes.
Sandy, who was a great friend, and of course Heidi, who was working there for Sandy.
Yeah.
Last week it got announced that Bintani, one of our other suppliers, have taken over the ownership of Hopco.
Yeah.
Which is really good for Sandy. Congratulations. I've been in the beer industry for 20 years. 20 plus. Started by his dad. Probably showing my age here, but I used to buy hops off Sandy's dad.
Not at all, mate. Not at all.
Back in the day, like at least over 10 years ago.
Yep.
And then Sandy was there, but then he took the reins, I think 5 or 6 years ago.
Yep.
In the last 2-3 years, I've had the opportunity to go on a couple of hop harvests with Hopco.
Yeah.
We went to the States, over in Portland and Yakima.
Yep.
And more recently to New Zealand. So Hopco have been a great supporter of us, helped us become sort of what Revel is now. So definitely a shout out to Sandy and to the Hopco crew.
Thanks for all your
the
support.
Best. And I'm sure with Bintani, who's another good company, it'll be in good hands. So
yeah, definitely. And I think Sandy will be still floating around the traps.
Absolutely.
Everything like that. So the brewing industry is in his veins. So
always fun catching up with our friend the Warhorse and having a beer.
Certainly, mate.
Various beer events.
I think he's still earmarked to take us over to America maybe next year.
Yeah, I made him sign that as part of the agreement.
Yeah, definitely. One last hurrah, I think they call it.
Once the world's vaccinated, we're going, what are we now? 2021, so 22.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll be off to Yakima with the Warhorse.
Definitely, for sure. All right, Matty. Well, absolute cracking addition to the series. Does everything it says it does. And it's absolutely delightful to drink, nice and clean on the palate. You get everything that you want. Just keep drinking.
Beautiful.
So get out there, guys. We'll throw up the stockists coming up on the Instagram and everything like that. We've got it at the tap room and everything like that. So get down, get your hands on this. Throw up a post if you love it as much as we do. So, Matty, cheers.
Cheers,
Another
mate.
cracker, mate. Cheers, everyone.